Welcome to On Mohawk Time. I'm your host, Joyce Jonathan Crone. Today we have four very, very special guests, and it's our pleasure and honor to have with us Elder John Elliott, Grandmother Dawn Hill, Grandmother Roberta Hill, and Grandmother Shirlene Bumbury. These four young people have gone through what no one should have gone through. These four lovely survivors and warriors are from the Mush Hole, the Mohawk Institute in Brantford, Ontario. This is the same residential school that my grandfather attended. These four warriors are part of the film that is being screened this weekend at the Three Fires International Film Festival. The film's producer is Faith Howe, an Indigenous woman whose great-grandmother was at the Mohawk Institute as well. The film is entitled The Nature of Healing, Surviving the Mohawk Institute.
My name is John Elliott, and I went to the Mush Hole in 1947, but I was sent there by J.C. Hill for a truancy, me and my older brother and my sister next to me. And but they took us in there, me and my older brother, the boys after he took us down through the playroom and we come outside. And my brother said, "What do you think?" I said, "I don't think I'm going to like it." He said, "Well, let's go then." So we took off, brother, we run about Canesville and jumped on the other train tracks, and couple of hours we was home. My grandfather had hired a car to take us up there, and my grandfather was the one that used to run the ferry across the river, and him and that guy took us up there, was still there talking at the house there. We're hollering at him, "Come on over, get us, Grandpa." And he come over and got us, and he told us, he says, "I didn't send you there." He says, "You were sent there by the government for truancy," but hell, I was only 10 years old. I didn't know what he was talking about. But so the next day they took us back, and well, we stayed for a while. But I know Christmas Eve we ran away from there again. I forget whether they come and picked us up or they took us back. It didn't matter. When you got back, you got put over the bench hose and strapped you till you got tired. But that never ever stopped me from running away.
I don't think people really understand the damage that's done when children are taken from their home and put into institutions like this, because what's lacking in the institution is it wasn't there to nurture us, it wasn't to care for us, there was this other agenda there. So it caused a lot of damage and a lot of harm with families, separating families. And for our families, we I would say out of the 7 of us, 3 of the younger ones went into foster care on the reserve. My one brother left the Mush Hole, he went into foster care on the reserve. Dawn and I went to foster care after the Mush Hole, and then my oldest sister from the Mush Hole, she went to the girls' juvenile detention center. So that split the whole family up, and really we didn't really connect all that well. We found out eventually where the kids were, but that's 12 years out of your life. That you don't grow up with your siblings, and that has a real huge impact. It causes a lot of, I think, damage for the person that you've lost that ability to be in that family-centered. When you're with your family, it's a whole lot different than being institutionalized, because in an institution, you're following rules and regulations. It's very regimented, so you have to adjust your life to living in that environment where follow the rules or else there's punishment. You do this or else there's punishment, and there's violence in that, So it wasn't something that we were used to because we came from a happy home. And
I blamed myself for that when I was 10 years old, and I look back on it. It's me, I'm 10, I didn't put myself in there. Like 4 of us were taken from my mom, and before we were taken into the residential school, I lost a brother to the 60s group, right? And so I had my 4-year-old sister, my 7-year-old brother, my 9-year-old brother, and I was 10 going on 11 that year, 1966. So I wouldn't talk about it because I was ashamed, and that's where I first got hit too. So through my journey of healing and everything like that, the psychodramatic body work that I've done, I've had to, because I first got hit there, right? And I got hit there because, with a ruler, because she asked me what was going on. She says, like to us, did we have a good day today? And I wasn't having a good day. I was missing my new sister from home. My brothers were separated on the other side. My sister was bottom bunk, I was top bunk, and she was only 4 years old. So I had a lot of emotions, so when I wanted to speak to somebody about it, I wasn't able to. So I was taken into the bathroom there a bunch with other girls, and I was never asked about, what was going on. So I'm standing there with my hands out like that, and she's taking a ruler up and down and up and down, But I wouldn't cry because I didn't understand why. Why am I getting hit, That's the first time I ever got hit, and I was 10.
So it's a long process, and I know it's going to be a while going on still. And right now I can only tell you that we're continuing the search through the area that once belonged to the residential school, and like the surrounding farm fields and everything else where all the buildings were back from the 1800s. So a lot of that has to be scanned yet, and I guess we're going to have to wait.
Possible child. Now, I was also told that there are trees and there are homes, there are businesses built on those areas. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, that's one of the problems actually, because everything is so overgrown. I mean, we did we had a meeting just the other day about overlaying maps from the 1800s up to the present day, and you can see how the landscape has changed, how the homes are now built up around that area. What used to be farmers' fields might now be a residential area. So those are the big problems that we have, and although we have asked and we're supposed to be notified if somebody wants to build, sometimes the builders just go right ahead and do it. So that becomes an issue for being able to scan that property. But if people followed the builders or construction people, followed the actual protocol and got our guys to come out and scan it before they built, there wouldn't be an issue. Because if there was, they would, if they found a body there, then we'd have to stop. They would have to stop building. But not all of them follow those procedures that they're supposed to be following.
And so I so appreciate each one of you. Elder John Elliott, Grandmother Dawn Hill, her sister Grandmother Roberta Hill, and Grandmother Shirlene Bumbury. They did not kill the Indian in the child. They did not. And so I just want to say we are, as a Huntsville community, so inspired by you. I'm inspired as an Indigenous woman to continue on. And so I just appreciate you being here, you sharing so openly, and that if you, as the community of Huntsville, want to hear more, contact Hunters Bay Radio at 88.7 and let us know. Let us know what you want to hear. So Nyawagoa.